That
Hey,
driver
hey,
again.
hey. All right, welcome everybody to the Rikishi Driver Talk Show. And I am your host, Rikishi, with my main man right there, the producer himself, Hamza Mania. How you doing, my man?
Oh, I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful. Sunny skies slash cloudy skies here in Orlando, Florida, but living life, man. Just cannot be more excited to be online with you right now.
All right, hold that thought for a minute. I got to send out my shout outs to our sponsors out here. This here is powered by Knox Pro Entertainment, also the Samoan Dynasty brand, and also Blackout Fight Gear that's in the house. So there's been a lot going on, man. So back to you. What's going on towards your area? Are you in Orlando? How's the
Yeah,
new place out there?
oh yeah, I just got a first chance to sleep in the new place here in Orlando, and it's just nice being in my own house for once. I've never experienced this before, you know. I feel so
Right.
blessed. I got my studio set up in one area, I got my room set up in the other area, and it's just great weather. But my main thing
Well,
I'm most looking forward to in Orlando, really, and I don't mean to cut you off and take over right from the beginning, but next
no,
week we
by all
have we
means,
have
go ahead.
the Humza driver, right? Uh, by next week we have WWE Clash of Champions coming up, right? And
Right.
I've been curious to ask you this, and I haven't asked you purposely because I've been waiting for the show. But what do you feel about this cousin versus cousin rivalry going on?
Well, you know what? This seems to be making splash all over the internet, all over the world, and so forth. For one thing, I'm proud of both of them to be able to headline, something huge like this. Anytime you have a family member that's headlining in any business, that it's at the top of the game, you're more so proud of both of them. But there's been a lot of just speculation and so forth about this match here. I know both of these kids, obviously. I've seen these kids here from birth to men right now, boys to men, and I also know about what they can bring to the table. What I am concerned about is with Paul Heyman. Um,
Mm,
we've I've known Paul Heyman all my life in the industry. He's a very, very smart
mm-hmm.
manager. He's very smart in the industry and so forth. And for him to be on Roman's side, as far as with this angle that they're shooting out there, I hope that it doesn't cloud Roman's mind out. But at the end of the day, he doesn't forget who's standing across from him is family member. It's actually people that he knows. It's bloodline and so forth. So I look for a very, very exciting match between the two. I know what Jey, I know what he brings to the table. I
Mm-hmm.
know what type of competitive spirit that my son has. But I also know, Joe is my cousin, but Joe is like, he's the same age as my son. So he's like my son as well. I don't look
Mm-hmm.
at him as my first cousin. Both of these kids here is, been raised together around my home. I've seen them jump in and out the swimming pool, break a lot of beds in my home and so forth. So, when they start to get, they start off as games as kids, but kids they get, some gets, they get heated during the moment, and then they
Mm-hmm.
forget that they're a family member. And
Right,
so,
right.
I mean, we've all gone through this before. Cousins and stuff like that. At the end of the day, you forget this family member. You just want to win, and so it's very exciting. I think it's like a dream match for a lot of the fans that are in the industry. For us as family members, we're kind of like we know our role, and it's very hard to pick sides.
Right,
At the end of the
right.
day, you love both of them, but I know what they signed up for in the industry, and at the end of the day, you gotta get in there and you gotta perform. You gotta understand, why you're carrying this logo or this legacy of Samoan dynasty. You know,
Right.
everything that you've learned from us, that's going to help you to be able to, have the better man win during that day. So, I'm very excited to tune in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm not even concerned about it because one thing I've learned just being around you and other Samoans is that you guys are very competitive, but it's never personal. So I know it's going to be a fun competitive fight. In my opinion, it's going to be a fun competitive fight. They've known each other since birth. I mean, I used to go super kicking my cousins all the time too. So, you
Yeah.
know, it's just that sibling, almost like a sibling rivalry, if you will.
Yeah. So, I just, with Joe being with Paul Heyman, and my son being in his corner by himself. Yeah, I kind of think that my son is missing somebody in that corner there. And I'm just kind of throwing something out there just to, kind of even out the playing field. You know what I mean? Because
If you want,
if Paul Heyman steps out of line, I think it's mandatory he gets the damn stink face and then a spot from there.
well, you know what? I am down the street, so if you want me to Photoshop my picture right next to Jay and show up, you let me know, okay?
by all means, you can be my top secret camera over there. Just go over there and see what type of training that Roman Reigns is doing with
Oh
Paul.
man, oh man, I wish.
It's great. I again, this thing here is, I can't tell you how many people has posted up, tagging me on their photos about this match against Roman and Jey, and may the best man wins, and the person that's going to come in there and put all things aside and let it on the line, let it all out. This is the time to do it, and my son has always been with his brother, Jimmy, right? So this is going to be very, very. It's going to be a test for him to be able to stand on his own, which I have no doubt he can. But to be able to, being in a tag team, you're always there with your partner there, so you can rely on your partner things that you can't see behind you. And so for Jey to be there, it's for me, it's almost kind of a mixed match in a way to have Paul Heyman and Joe on one side, and then have Josh from Jey on the other side by himself.
Right.
And because what I'm saying is, as a manager, that's another mouthpiece for you to relate. The things that maybe Roman won't catch from behind. There he is as another set of eyes and a set of mouth to be able to relate the message. So again, I think the underdog here is a lot of people are kind of calling my son out on it, that that Roman's going to take the deal. Okay, maybe, but you never say never. Surprises always happen, and I think that that Jey has a lot of he's got a lot of work for him set in front of him, to be able to beat all the odds. That's going to happen that day, and it's not the first time that he's had to overcome things in his life, and I think these two are going to mix it up, man. It's going to be a good thing, though. It's going to be a good match to watch.
It's going to be fun for sure, for sure. I can't help but wonder if Jey was taking on someone other than his cousin, right? As in this type of matchup, and that other opponent had a manager. I think Jey trusts his cousin a little too much, and that's probably why he hasn't found himself a manager or someone in his corner, because he thinks it's going to be a fair one. Is that safe to say?
Well, I mean, look who you got. Okay, if Paul Heyman wasn't there, probably. I think Roman would kind of, think that way. Jey would think that way. It's okay. But since you have somebody like, we all know what type of a manager that Paul Heyman is. And Paul Heyman is straight business. I mean, we've all seen that, the success that he's had, to be able to manage such an icon like Brock Lesnar. And now you have the new era, the big dog himself that's happened to be family member. And so, we're Paul Heyman, make no mistake about it. We are well aware of what type of person you are, what you can do, what you bring to the table. But this is the family for you not to cross. Ooh. And I'm going to put that out there.
Well, we can go ahead and leave that on that segment right there. It should be fun nonetheless. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so it's going to be.
Tell me, how are things doing?
Well, this week has been a good week for me. Being at the Knoxville Domain, being a part of help of putting some light on a lot of independent wrestlers that are out in the SoCal area. Man, I got a chance to to really get to know these wrestlers that came through, not only on a professional level, but personal. Uh, you know, it's always for me, always a teaching, to be able to help teach, things that they don't understand in the industry. And, the one thing I've noticed about a lot of these independent wrestlers that come through, they all have that same passion, otherwise they wouldn't be doing it. But some of them, some of them, they have a lot of questions, asking about my feedback as far as their matches. So I like being a part of, after their matches, I come back, as I critique, and tell them what I feel, what should have happened, how you should have went into it, even with commentating, with commentating as well. It's always like I say, it's 24 hours of learning every time we go to the domain or we go to any show. I'm always testing you kids that to see if you are learning and see if progress is still happening for you. And some get it, Hamza. Some get it, some don't. Some think they know it all, and it's hard to teach a person that thinks they know it all. And so at the end of the day, I have kids myself. And I know what it is to continue to pound on, some of the knuckleheads that just are not listening. It's just that simple. And I try to do the best I can to guide them where they need to be in this industry. Otherwise, if you're not passionate about it and you're not really, really, shooting to want to learn about the industry, then, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time in it because, it's financial. It's, it's a lot of patience. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of just a whole bunch. You're not the only one that's training for you to be successful, because you have family. You have those that are flipping the bill to be able to have you, follow through with your passion. And then when you come to training, or they're not all there. It's like you're just playing around with, not only our time, but you're playing around with, with your parents' time that helped put in for this thing here. And you just I try to do the best I can to be able to guide them the best way I can out there.
What's interesting is I've been with Knox Pro for a little over a year now, and I've noticed two typical things that happen. It's almost like when some students, and not anyone in particular, but just in general, when students or anyone of the student of the game comes by, some of them always wants to just impress you, and they want to hear good feedback only and how impressed you were, and they don't listen to the feedback given that this was going to make you better for the next time. And then those students that don't get that pat on the back the way they want, it almost seems like they disappear after a while, right? Like they just stop showing up.
Well, I see it all. I see it all different shapes and sizes coming, a mile away. I'm not there to make you happy. I'm there to tell you the truth. And, for those that, I get that all the time, and, I'm sure you see it as well. And, I'm sure other academies, coaches see that as well. But, I don't put that over. For me, action speaks all the way from, in the square circle, pushing the broom at the domain, mopping, everything. You got to be a team player in this industry, but sometimes, like in this industry, as far as training, what we do there is you got to be ready to do anything. Like you might be coming to, okay, I'm supposed to wrestle today. Oh, but no, I took you off the card today because I need you here. Now you can't have that type of attitude to where, oh, well, that's not what I signed up for. That's not what as soon as you do that, now you bring heat on yourself. Like, okay, this kid doesn't understand the domino effect of this industry where you got to learn everything. I get it. You came to be a manager. You came to be a wrestler. But no, we need you here. We had a long day today. We had everything planned for you, to come, and you were booked to do this. But for whatever reason that happened behind the scenes, the show starts in 15 minutes. I don't have time to explain to you what's going on. So do me a favor, do yourself a favor, and just what's that one word? Adapt.
Adapt, right? You know, Teddy Long said that best to us. Adapt, right? I think Teddy Long told me the story or told us the story of how he showed up to put the ring together one day at some stadium. He didn't even know what wrestling was, and from there he ended up just showing up and doing a great job at everything they placed him in, to where now he was general manager of SmackDown. Like,
You know what?
that's
I mean,
that.
you hear those type of stories from a lot of these icons in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of WWE Hall of Famers and so forth. When we have our weekly Zoom classes, to where these gentlemen are, and ladies are able to take time out of their busy scheduling to come into the room to be able to talk to a bunch of kids that they don't even know. You know, that
Right.
tells you something that, that they care about not only the business, they care about you kids are in here because they want them to understand what it really is. Teddy was one of the most inspiring uh, testimonies that when he came in and talked to a lot of you kids that are in the class here, this guy, like, he started from the bottom. He did
Yeah.
whatever he had to do. Years later, he's a WWE Hall of Famer, one of the best managers that's out there in the industry, one of the best referees that's out there. And let me tell you, one of the most liked guys in the industry. So all that struggle that he went through in the industry, like, he didn't have no academy to go to a coach teach him. He learned everything on the fly being on the road. But here's what happened. Teddy listened, he opened his eyes, shut his mouth, and did the work.
Yep.
He
A
did the
hundred
work.
percent. 100%.
So that should be a wake-up call for a lot of our guys or people that's in the academy, not only in Knox Pro, but all throughout the world, wherever you at, across overseas or any academy that you're in. You need to pay attention to certain coaches.
Right.
Not every coach out there knows what they're talking about.
Right.
Like I said before, just because a coach said they've been in the business 13, 14 years, doesn't really know or doesn't really mean verified that they know what they're teaching. So all you kids got to do is just Google them, do your homework. You got to do your homework and find out who's teaching me. And I'm just proud to say that, where we're at, that you kids and all your other teammates that are probably listening or should be listening, should be actually promoting this podcast, talk show as well. But they should be, very, you guys are privileged to have not only myself, you got Reno, and you also have Miro that's there now.
Miro.
You have Chimera, you guys
Yes.
have Cerucho, you
Yes.
guys have Maverick.
Yes.
There's so many coaches there that teaches teaching in a different angle, but you guys get all that in one. And so, my message to a lot of our cats here: shut your mouth and do the work. That's it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Do what you're supposed to do.
We're spoiled. We're so spoiled, and it's funny. The reason I say
Yeah,
this
you
is
guys are.
it's the reason I can mention this, or I can actually say it, is because me, I get obsessive over stuff. So when I want to learn something, like I really wanted to learn the industry, I start doing as much research as possible. And literally everyone said the same thing: you're not going to be able to learn anywhere. You're just going to have to go do it and hope for the best. And then when I joined Knox Pro, and I was given, like, I'm talking about who we got to meet: X Pac, The Big Show, Mick Foley, Mark Henry, Teddy Long, like all these people. Within my first 6 months of being there, without me even having to show what I'm capable of, we're spoiled. We're almost too spoiled, in my opinion. But hey, don't take my word for it.
Well, I just, again, you guys are spoiled in a good way. At the end of the day, you should know how your coaches feel about all you kids to be able to, reach out to these celebrities that are very, very busy, and for them to take time to come in and spend 35 minutes to 45 minutes to throw their knowledge of their story, that to be hopefully to be able to help you kids to adapt and really see the inside of the industry. It's not just what we see on TV. Of course, you guys are smart about that now. So, but hopefully that most of you guys get it, and there's going to be some that, like I always say, some Hamza in our academy or any academy, some just feel like some type of way, like they already know it all. But what we always preach in Docs Pro is each one teach one. Like
Right.
every single kid comes through there, they're already nervous. They're diverse from different, different backgrounds and so forth. But doesn't mean that we quit on that kid. Doesn't mean that we quit. If they have some type of attitude, some type of way, sometimes you got to kind of bend a little bit just to help them, turn that corner. Because once you see that kid become successful, now he's doing good for himself, be it in wrestling or just in life in general. You should feel good some type of way that you had a little piece to do with that kid's success. So,
Right.
like you, man, I am so proud of you that
Thank you.
listen, you come from Pakistan, your parents are here, and you're a young kid. You bought them their first home, in Orlando, Florida. Not too many kids do that, son. And
Right.
so, and this is not me just blowing smoke. I'm just that tells me that your head's on you're on your right shoulder. You're thinking very well. You have a positive mindset. And so, I'm very happy and proud to be a part of that with you. And that's the reason why I feel comfortable with you doing my show together.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Continue the good work.
Yes, sir. And I'm trying to show my parents that, me being in LA and working and stuff is beneficial, but they still want me here. And that's why I have to split my time between the two. If I could just get rid of the middle of the country and put Florida and California together, that'd be great.
Good luck. where you're doing a good job, and that's what you're supposed to do. I always say this: tomorrow's not promised. If your parents or your loved ones or just anybody out there, man, call them. Get a chance to hug them. Get a chance to spend some quality time, man. Because
Absolutely.
again, it's not promised.
I've been saying this to all my cousins, my siblings, everyone, and it's what you told me, because when my mom calls, I answer. Every time she calls, I don't care what I'm doing, I answer. And you said, always answer, because one day that may not come through. That call may not come through. So no matter how busy I am, man, if my mom calls me and her ringtone's separate, she gets through on my do not disturb. She has that power. She can do so. I might answer when my mama calls.
Yeah, I think if you don't answer your phone, then I'm going to have Jimmy Snooker call you. Brother Hamza, how you doing, Brother Hamza? It's the Superfly. I want you to answer the phone, brother.
I'm thinking it's like one of my grandpas or something.
You know what? Just me. For some reason, I always find myself doing the Jimmy Snooker impersonating, right? And then I thought about it. Jimmy, I never told anybody. Jimmy was one of my favorite wrestlers, man. He was one of my favorite wrestlers, like my idols growing up,
Right.
Besides my uncles Alfred Sika, but Jimmy was the Superfly, you know what I mean? We all see that epic jump off the top rope at Madison Square Garden. I think I talked about this before, and here I am talking about it again in my podcast. But listen here, Hamza. Let's fast forward, and this is the part of the show where I really like. I always like to try to, take some questions from the fans here, and try to answer it to the best of my ability. Now, you might answer, ask the question, and you might read it to me, but you might not get an answer. We'll see.
Well, right now the comment seems to. Right now, the comment section seems to be fighting over who's going to be winning, whether it's Jey or Roman on next Sunday. A lot of people are actually going for Jey. They're wondering, do you actually want him to do your dance if he does win? Do you think he's going to do that dance, that iconic dance we always see?
Well, why not? It's a celebration, right? That's what Rikishi used to always do. I used to beat him and feed him and then dance with it,
Beat him, feed him, then dance with it. Cool. Let me see if I can find some.
Okay, go ahead. What do we got?
Let me see if I can find some questions. Give me something good. Guys, ask some questions, guys. Okay, we get it. We love Rikishi. We get it. That's why we're watching the show.
Yeah.
Blessings
no more saying you love me. No more saying you love me. Just, I want to answer some questions that we got. And thank you. There's a lot of people coming through here. Okay.
Well, wait. I'm gonna let people come through with some questions real quick. I'm gonna give them a few minutes. We'll come back to this topic because again, I'm seeing it's typical stuff that we ask, right? Like people always want to know if you're coming back to WWE, how's life, things like. Actually, how is life for you recently? I haven't talked to you in not really talked to you, seen you in a week, right?
Oh, well, yeah, man. You know the same grind what goes on here in Los
Yep.
Angeles. Been doing a lot of virtual meetings and so forth on Zoom. It's been crazy. But I did have some that was epic. Actually happened this week on I believe it was Wednesday, I
Hmm.
believe it was. Anyways, I had WWE come to town,
Oh,
and
nice.
I was a part of doing a Yoko documentary, and the Yoko documentary. I was so happy that WWE finally decided to put something out there, Rodney, to be able to not only tell his story, but the behind the scenes who we know Yoko as. It was a very fun documentary shooting. It was a very emotional documentary, but more so, for me, it was telling who the man was, the icon, the WWE Hall of Famer, and the father, the brother, and just everything about Yoko, from how he was with our family, what did he like to do. There was a lot of things that we dropped in there. A lot of people didn't know that Yoko was a hell of a basketball player. Yoko really loved the Lakers back in the day,
Mm.
and he was like a 3-point shooter, man. I don't think um, back then he probably got training from LeBron James, for all I know.
Well, I
You
mean,
know,
Joe wants to know if you ever worked a match with Yoko in WWE. Did you ever do anything with him that we may not have seen?
oh yeah. I mean, during the time it was back in South Africa in Sun City. I was actually the Sultan under that character, and we just flew an 18-hour flight all the way from New York, and we landed, drove 2 hours to this place. It's one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in my life, Sun City, South Africa, with no sleep. We get there, sold out arena, right from the dressing room, put your gear on, and went out there and just tore the house down. It was a night out for me. The big man bumped more so than he ever did, which I appreciated that. And that's
Nice.
that love part of being family. You know what I mean? There's things in there to where, that he probably wouldn't have done for any other wrestler. But him knowing that it was me, across from him, that he took a kind of few more extra bumps, which I appreciated. He tried to put the character, the Sultan character over. But
Good for
yeah,
him.
so
That's awesome.
just the top on the top on that is, that's why I say I kind of know what Roman and Jay's feeling.
Ah,
To be able to go head to head. I took myself
right.
back when I seen that splash all over the place, and it kind of took me back. Like, man, you know how they would be thinking looking across the ring from each other. Now, for me,
Right.
I was laughing like I'm looking across the ring from Yoko because I knew what type of jokester he was. He I didn't know what type of rib he was going to pull on me, but I knew I was going to be ready for whatever type of rib that he pulled out. So
Right.
it was definitely a blessing to work against Yoko. But the documentary, man, is going to be off the hook. So make sure you guys look out for it. It's supposed to has a lot of family members being interviewed in it. Some that the world has never seen. They interviewed his sister,
Mm.
his only sister that's alive now, and his only younger brother. And of course, my uncle's out from Sika, some of the family members, the Tonga Kid, Black Pearl, Samu. So we got a long list of family members. So we'll
And it
see. We'll
keeps
see what's
going
up.
and going and going and
Yeah.
going and going.
So the
um,
documentary is supposed to pop out in January. So
yep.
you guys make sure you guys look out for it.
Looking forward to it. I can't
Yeah.
wait. So Maverick, not our Maverick, but a different Maverick, is hoping to see you in the Philippines someday. And I know before all this quarantining stuff, this pandemic happened, we were talking about the Philippines a lot, weren't we?
Well, yeah. I mean, we were actually. I had a date set for the Philippines with International Boxing Ray Rodius, and and Oxford Entertainment was actually headlining this Asian tour. We were supposed to go to the Philippines and all the surrounding islands that's around there, but it's been put on hold for the time being. Of course, as soon as everything opens up, you'll definitely see it from our end, and we'll be promoting. But I'm definitely looking forward to go to the Philippines, and I know I'm a big fan of chicken adobo. So that chicken adobo, Philippines, here I come.
That's the only thing we were gonna go for, right? Just to get that good food. I heard a lot about it. I got my passport made and everything.
I don't pass up no type of. I love trying different authentic food from all types of places, man. I'm not scared. A lot of people, man, you go to different countries, they're like scared, like to try. What is it? What is it, man? Just if they're eating it, it's good. Just shut your mouth and try it, because I know for Samoans, you come to our house and we spend all this time. Our wives spend all this time cooking, and we put it on the table, and you look at it some type of way, and you don't try it. Oh, you're gonna get heat, man. You definitely gonna get heat. So,
Absolutely.
You gotta try it.
That food, man, food is just one of the best things in the world, in my opinion, and especially from different cultures and different things. But one of my favorite parts about coming to Orlando is my mom's cooking. And it's so spicy. I'll sweat my head, everything, like beads of sweat just dripping down my face, but I'll eat it and I'll be so happy afterwards. I'll pay for it later, but I'll be so happy afterwards. It tastes so good.
Hey, I know you're happy over there. You get to have your mom's home cooked meal,
Right.
That's a blessing in itself, man. So enjoy it while you're out there. Because when you get back, it's Bump City again.
Bump City and Uber Eats. Here we go.
Right.
So here's another question from Joe. With Jey and Roman going to battle, they need to know, but they want to know, like, family versus family. Who do you think would take it between Yoko and Umaga? Ooh, that's all right.
Shout out to Joe. That's a very good question. Yoko and Umaga.
Yeah.
Well, if it's a short match, Yoko would take him if it's real quick, like catch Umaga Eki off guard. But the longer the match goes, I think I'd have to go with Eki Umaga.
Yep, Umaga, man. Umaga is just such a talent. May he rest in peace.
The whole Samoan dynasty is.
That is true. That's why I'm training under you guys, right?
All right.
Yeah. So William has asked this a couple of times. A few people have asked this. They don't seem to be many fans of Randy Orton in this chat room right now. So he wants to know if he would come back and ever face Randy Orton.
Well, you know what? Probably then I probably would have. For now, I think that Randy is in a lot better shape than I am. That would definitely he'd be a person that I would have loved to run a program with. I think Randy is one of the best that's to ever do it, and he's still out there. I think it's well over 20 years, and he still looks amazing. Every now and then, when I catch Randy on the tube, I'll sit back and I kind of watch and see if there's anything that is he starting to get stale but it's never the case with Randy. He's always up on his game, and it takes it back to to what we say and what we teach. Your passion. You can see it when your passion stops in this industry, and once that passion stops, and you're no longer have that drive anymore, you're definitely going to see it. You're going to see it from your body. You're going to see it from your work. You're going to see it from your attitude and everything. And Randy just had, done everything right to be able to be successful. And I'm sure his father is very proud of him and his family.
Well put.
So am I.
So moving on a little bit, I mean, people have been asking about Miro a little bit. They're saying that he looks like he's doing well, and just having to get to know Miro a little bit. Man, first of all, great wrestler, obviously, great look and everything, but what a personality this guy has. How do you feel about Miro as one of your students that has done one of the best out of everybody that you've trained?
Oh, well, you know what? I can't take the credit for that. It's just myself training Miro. Reno had a lot of time with him, Black Pearl. Also, brother Gangrel, David Heath, had a lot of time with Miro to be able to help him mold him what he is and so forth. But, I can't say anything that everybody that knows about Miro. He's, if you know him personally, you know that he's a just still humble guy. He still has the same hunger that he did before, and now is still very respectful to to a lot of people. Even when he comes to the domain, it always makes me happy to see him come back home and to be able to teach the kids what was taught to him then, and also the new era today. So I like the fact that the same hero that left is the same hero that came back. I always knew he was going to be a superstar. I always knew that. We knew because he was one of our students that got it. And his drive never stopped. He did everything what he was asked to do and what he was supposed to do, and did everything with a smile. But at the end of the day, everything that man has today, make no mistake about it, it didn't come easy for him.
Right.
It did not come easy for him, and not only for himself but his family. And he loves the industry. He loves the industry. He loves the kids, the students that are at Knox Pro. And I'm very happy for him. When I seen his debut on AEW, I was so happy because he just looked happy. He just looked like there was no more stress on his head, or things that the passion was there to be able to to do what he can, not only to help the company but help the industry as well. And he's already made a name for himself. We're all looking and we're talking about a future Hall of Famer, be it in AEW or WWE.
Of course, 100%. Now,
So
Chad's
I'm
going
proud of
crazy. Chat's going crazy about your dance. I mean, we all miss it. We all miss seeing it. And everyone's telling you to do the dance. And in fact, Yor even wants to see you do the dance for his birthday. But don't you think you should do something else with that dance right now?
Well, you know what? I've been watching them. I'm slowly becoming a big TikTok fan. I think by the time I'm through with this talk show, me and you will be talking about opening me up a TikTok account.
Let's do it.
I'm such a big fan of dancing, but I kind of know my lane. Like I like the slow dances, right? Or it's not too much energy going. But all that other stuff where the twerking and all that stuff there, oh man, that just looks like it hurts my back, man. So you know what? I mean, we're gonna come up with a new Rikishi dance for the TikTok, and then we'll try to see if that thing there catches on fire for everybody.
I like that. I like that. I'm gonna go ahead and put this note in real quick because I didn't even think about that altogether. Hold on 1 second.
That's
hilarious.
A lot of my fans now, it's weird because the fans that hit me on TikTok, I don't have a TikTok, but I see it on my kids, right? And I'm looking at these fans that are tagging me on there. Oh, they're all like young, like 20 years old, 18, 14. I was like, you weren't even alive when I was dancing. You know what I mean? And how so? You know what that tells me? That tells me it's their parents that's showing them the Rikishi dance. So shout out to the parents for keeping me out there.
That's awesome. Staying relevant still to this day, and all from dancing. Dancing is just a universal language, isn't it? Like you can go to any culture, just like food, and dance and just have a good time.
Hey, you know what? Most of my career, like with the Rikishi character, just a lot of people remember Rikishi from backing that ass up, and also busting the move, right? Yep. Which during the time didn't take too much energy for me. As we know, like as long as I didn't have to take a bump to make the crowd pop, I'm good with it. You know what I mean? So, that thing there, I just stumbled onto something that, I tried and it worked and it stuck with the fans. 20-something years later, it's still talking about it. And I'm grateful and I'm thankful that you guys are still keeping the Rikishi dance alive and also the stink face. But You don't have to tag me on all that no more. I'm good.
I'm sure the fans are grateful and thankful as well for it. Actually, your just gave me some bad news. He's saying that they're going to actually be canceling TikTok on Sunday. I heard they're going to be banning it soon.
Well, there'll be a lot of pissed off kids there if they do that. So, but who
There really
knows?
will be. We'll
You
see
know
how it
what?
goes.
In today's era, man, they'll come up with a new freaking app where everybody, it'll catch on fire. All of a sudden, they'll say, "What's that app?" Next thing you know, everybody from TikTok bounced over to this new app there. So you better come up with let's come up with a new app then.
Let's do that. Yeah. We'll be back. We'll be back.
We'll make a new dance app or something like that.
We got this. We got that. We'll just take TikTok and rebrand it. If anything, it'll be probably the easiest way to go about it.
Why not?
So some of the fans are talking about the two cool members, right? Of the guys you tagged with, Grandmaster Sexay and Scotty Too Hotty. Do you still talk to Scotty at all? Have you been in touch with him?
Oh yeah, Scotty still is. We stay in contact. He's part of the NXT brand, and he's also a coach. I'm very happy for Scotty success out there. As far as with he likes to teach a lot of the kids that are there as well and give them their input. So you guys ever get a chance that are around here or meet Scotty or being trained up underneath them while you're there, by all means shut your mouth and open your ears up and listen to what the man has to say. But my man, my road dog and my riding partner. All right, well, yeah, well, you guys should already know that already. That's big slide stuff. And my road dog, Grandmaster, rest in peace. Gone too soon, man. This guy here, man, my stories with this, he was just, if you didn't know him, you'd want to whoop his ass. I'm talking about Brian, right? But the one thing about Brian, man, he was always lit. He was always full throttle, high energy. We could be traveling all night to go to a town, having a few drinks, and knowing you're supposed to be in bed by 2 a.m. and, get that last call at 4 o'clock in the morning, we're still up. Come time for showtime, man, he'll come from a dead sleep to just go out there and just rock the house. I used to watch him when he come down. You remember he used to do that Michael Jackson Thriller dance. So he'd come down the ramp like that.
Right.
I'm looking at it. I'm just walking, man. All I'm doing is just walking. But I'm looking back and I'm saying, you got to be blowed up, tired as hell, coming down the ramp doing the Michael Jackson Thriller dance. And that's never the case. I never seen that down here. So I don't know.
That's hilarious.
I wish, he should have left some of that energy in some type of bottle or something. We could have been a millionaire by now,
Right. That could be the new Red Bull or something.
Grandmaster energy drink.
Yeah. That's great. Hey, real quick, I just want to apologize to you real quick. I called you. I said he. I meant she. I apologize. I'm reading through these really quickly. Don't tear me apart in the comment section. I'm sorry.
Right, exactly.
Cool. So, that's such a cool story to hear because I used to watch that, and one thing that used to crack me up as a kid was his entrance, and he would come down like doing that little shoveling Michael Jackson dance, and I used to crack up like you wouldn't believe. He was actually one of my faves out of the trio, believe it or not. And it's funny hearing that story because that's the kind of energy you need to bring in order for wrestling to work.
And he after he left we left WWE, doing a lot of these Comic Cons, doing a lot of these independent shows, appearances. His energy just never stopped. That we used to go to Waffle House a lot. You know how much I love Waffle House.
Of course, should be one of our sponsors at this point.
Yeah, exactly. But we used to go to Waffle House a lot after every event, and he used to come through there. And keep in mind, it's the same freaking menu that's on the Waffle House menu. It's like you can memorize the freaking menu. And we sat down, and all of a sudden he says, "Hey, Keith, we gonna order the bodybuilder special." I was like, "Bodybuilder special? Are you looking at me? I look like a bodybuilder. Just give me my chocolate chip waffles. Give me some fried, some bacon, some sausage with some eggs and cheese. I'm good." So no, we gotta have the bodybuilder special. I said, "What's the bodybuilder special, Brian?" He says, "I made it up over here. It's it's called Chunk My Chicken. It's 2 chicken breasts, grilled, and steamed hash browns, right? And then you have raisin toast with applesauce jelly on there. And so we sat down. I took my order first. Now I'm ordering. Can I get a chocolate chip waffle? Let me get 2 of those. Let me get some side of bacon. 2 orders of side of bacon. Let me get some. I'll take 4 eggs scrambled with some onions and add a whole slice of cheese on it. Oh, and some chocolate milk. I'll take the chocolate milk with my waffles. So I said, all right. And the lady goes to Brian. Well, okay, well, what would you have, sir? Okay, let me get Chunk My Chicken. You should have seen the lady's face. she couldn't believe that she heard him say Chunk My Chicken. That just sounds some type of way. So every time we go now, it's Chunk My Chicken. So we go to the same Waffle House. So we come back, man, he just walks through. They look at him, the cook will look at him, Chunk My Chicken, Brian. Chunk My. It just sounded. It didn't. If you didn't know what it was, you think some type of way like that.
Of course. That's my new finisher, Chunk My Chicken.
That'd be a good finishing name right there. But the stories of this cat here, he was a fun guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was just a fun guy that just, I miss him a whole bunch.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same, when I go do different gigs now, that to turn to my left brain is not there. So shout out to his family, his father, Jerry the King, and his brothers and his mom that are out there. I hope you guys are doing well, man. So I miss you, Brian. Yeah.
Have you ever done the worm?
Probably with one leg.
I'm being serious. I feel like you have. I know for a fact you have. I just don't think you want to admit it.
I did it back in the day. Back in probably high school, elementary, I did.
Yeah, of course.
I figured, well, Scotty's done it wearing my big 425-pound ass don't need to be laying on my stomach to try to do the worm. Yeah, it looks painful. I think, you know what I mean? I know back in the day when I tried it, it hurt as a young kid, but now even at Scotty's age when he was doing it, I was like, damn, that shit looks like it hurts.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine because it's people don't realize that ring is a very hard ring, and even just something simple like if you're down on your knees on that ring, your knees will feel it because it's just wood, going in. So can you imagine your entire body flopping around? Right. Oh my God! But what a pop, though, right?
He's got that down to a T, and the biggest pop that you hear is when Scotty goes down and do that worm, man. Everybody's just losing their damn mind, man, which is good.
Hey, there's somebody on Twitch channel called the Stink Face who thinks you look fly today, by the way, and he wants to know how they can get on board with interviewing you themselves.
Well, for a slight fee, all you got to do is go to Rikishi's bookings at gmail.com. You all go to my bio on all my social media. There's an email that's there, and somebody will definitely reply back to you.
Oh yeah, you'll definitely get an answer. That's for sure.
Is that his name, Stinkface?
That's the name of. It might just be like their Twitch channel name. They might be fans. I'm not sure, but I gotta check them out afterwards. The Stinkface, cool.
All right, well there you go. You have a plug there. Go to Twitch on the Stinkface and follow the Stinkface and tell them
there you go.
There you go.
You're welcome, Stinkface.
You're welcome, man.
Cool. So now we are coming close to the end of our hour, so obviously, we want to wrap things up, but we do want to talk about the next show's coming up, right? I do believe we have some awesome wrestlers showing up for the I Am Wrestling stuff coming up.
Yeah, I believe it's Eyes in Disguise that's coming up soon. It's Tuesday and so forth, but it's. I want to personally thank all the fans that are out there. I know the hashtag I Am Wrestling, but it's also the hashtag of support independent wrestling. Again, a lot of these guys are, thankful to Knoxville Entertainment giving a platform for a lot of the SoCal and everybody from California on up to Nevada from Arizona. Giving the opportunity for these guys to kind of stay relevant out there. Since the pandemic hit, Again, a lot of promoters are not, shining light on running shows, which we understand it costs money to run shows. And, a lot of these independent wrestlers are not able to get any type of bookings. So, it's through the donations and the generosity of the public that are sending donations to be able to, help us stay afloat as far as, running this platform production and so forth for a lot of these wrestlers. So I'm happy. It's a win-win situation for us to be able to not only to kind of shine some light on a lot of these independent wrestlers that has been sitting home for a while. I don't know. I lost count of this pandemic, for 9 months or so. And it's when they come, we sit outside and kind of just shoot the shit out there, and we just talk about, man, how much they miss being at shows every weekend, how much they miss traveling to go here, go there, as far as that excitement and that journey, it's been taken away from them. Right. And so as we go, doing what we're doing as far as support independent wrestling, it's really helped out a lot for a lot of the fans that have been donating generously to the cause here of supporting independent wrestling. So thank you. But you guys tune in every Tuesday. You know what we do over there. Every Tuesday it's lights, camera, action. And here we go. So Eyes in the Skies has been it's been one of my favorite characters from the Knox Pro. I mean,
very cool.
Yeah, he's been one of the OGs that's there. And this character, I'm very, very protective over this guy here. Because if you've seen him perform live and what Marcos, our production guy, Marcos Garcia, who I feel is the best sound, lights, camera guy out there. When he does that entrance on Eyes in the Skies, man, it's like watching Undertaker come out. But on an independent level, you know what I mean? And it's just, for kids, for me, back in the day I used to trip watching the fans in house, because when the Eyes came out, the fans would just look. The entrance was so, like, how Taker, everybody gets in this, just we're all just mesmerized. You know what I mean? And for me to see these young kids on the independent level inside the domain, they're watching them. It's like, that's probably the closest they're ever going to get to Undertaker. Right. And so, but he's a very, very talented wrestler, and I encourage everybody to Tuesday to check him out.
Yeah, very mesmerizing for sure. Actually, I'm missing you guys there so much. I really, that's the one thing I don't like about coming to Orlando, is I miss the shows. I'm not there to be like part of the action, meet everybody, and all that good stuff. So, just miss you guys.
You got two homes. You got Orlando, and you got over here at the Knox Pro Dome. That's
back and forth.
We're good.
But you know what I'm even more excited about? Like, I didn't think I could get any more excited than Eyes in Disguise, right? I've been waiting to see him for a while now, and then pandemic hit, and it's just like, all right, I can't seem to catch a break. But we do have, a women's tag team match coming up the following week, correct? We got the Santino Brothers Academy's coming back. We got Viva Van and Milo Matters going to take on Knox Pro's own MK Twins, Ashley and Stephanie. And I'm excited about this one the most out of any match we've had so far.
Well, I mean, this gonna be four beauties going at it. You know what I mean? These women here that are a part of this match here on both sides, they're good. They're hard hitting. I mean, don't let their face fool you. All of these four of these girls are going to get out there, and they're well known as far as what they bring to the squared circle. But the MK Twins, they got their work cut out for them. Meaning this is the first time that they're going to meet up with Viva and what's her name?
Milo Matters.
My apologies. Yeah, and it's going to be a good competitive competition match between the both. And so again, they're no strangers to the industry, but this is where MK Tunes, I am calling you out right now. this is where your training comes to play. Like, you guys did good as well as facing a men's tag team, and it was a very good match, and you got over strong. But this here is going to really perfect, it's going to really test your craft, And so, good luck to all four girls, all four ladies that's in this match here. I'm
Yeah,
going to tune in.
it's going to be so much fun. And in fact, let's see that flyer one more time, shall we? Beautiful.
There you go.
Beautiful. It's going to be so much fun. I cannot wait.
Yeah, man, it's going to. And you know what? For women, I get excited when women are able to get highlighted in our industry, right? And again, it's like these women here, they're kind of like paving their era right now. They're in the independent scene, but sooner or later, these four girls will be to the next level where they need to be and will be, right? But in the meantime, they're making a name for themselves on an independent circuit and so forth. So I hope that they bring it, which I know they will, and just know this, that there's going to be a lot of eyes that are going to be watching this match here against these four ladies that are going to get in there and mix it up. And hopefully, with the platform of Knoxville Entertainment, that the right eyes come through there and able to, contact these good ladies and give them a good contract so they can move on and enjoy the journey of professional wrestling and, take care of their families.
Absolutely. Keish, it's kind of funny that you were mentioning women's wrestling right now, but when I was growing up and watching wrestling, I had my younger sister, her name is Bakiza. She watches these shows. She's probably watching now. I just went and met her, saw her in New York, my new niece and everything. And one thing I remember clearly was, again, we're a Middle Eastern Muslim, family in America. And I loved wrestling. She loved watching with me, and she was a big fan of The Rock. And I remember once she wanted a title, that Brahma Bull title belt, and my parents would not let her get it because it's not for women. And I was like, and to me, she was really good at everything we did. She loved wrestling, loved it. And they kept telling her it's not for women, not for women. And eventually, I went and got the belt for myself, but gave it to her secretly. But it was such a tough part to go through when both of us just enjoyed something so innocently, but our parents were in their mind was women should not be doing this.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, we're not going to overstep the wishes of parents. I mean, that's
Never.
what they're there for. But eventually, we grow up from kids to grown adults. And, sometimes, you just got to kind of follow your heart, whether, I'm not saying that to make other people that you love upset. But at the end of the day, Kishi has to live Kishi's life.
Mm-hmm.
Kishi has to make decisions for Kishi and so forth. And, I love my family. Yes, I do. But if I don't, reach out and try to do what I'm dreaming about, or what my goals are, because my goals might not be their goals. Mm-hmm. And so at the end of the day, I'm going to be the one to live with that decision. So, it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. Right. But at the end of the day, Hamza's got to do Hamza.
Correct. 100%. Now, I really hate to do this because one of my favorite parts about Friday is hanging out with you and talking, but we are coming to the end of our hour, and we mentioned we didn't want to go 5-6 hours on this podcast at a time. So any final words for the people out there, and let's go ahead and sign off and, see what we can do over the weekend.
Well, I want you guys to have a wonderful weekend. Make sure to be safe. Make sure to reach out there, call somebody that you love, go out there and hug them and just keep in touch. As you know, tomorrow's not promised for none of us. I love you.